Hey everyone, welcome back. So in previous video, you have seen how we can create a remote repository not remote, how we can create a local repository inside our PC. Here is the agenda. What we are going to follow in this video is we are going to create a GitHub, a remote repository in GitHub. Then we will associate our local repository with the remote repository. That means now you have performed the development of your code, whatever you wanted to have. Now you wanted to push that code to your remote repository. So how you will do that? First thing, we need to associate our remote repository with the local repository. So how we will do that? There is a command called git remote add origin, and this is URL to our origin. We will see what is the URL that we are going to use. Add, like, after associating the remote repository, we must need to pull the changes from the remote. So if there are any changes which are there in remote, we wanted to have those changes inside our local repositories as well. If we don't pull, we'll get the error. So as a best practice, even after you are connected with your repository, you have pulled the changes. Now after one day you want it to work, so the very first thing is that you need to run this command in order to get the updated changes from your remote. And now what you need to do is you need to push your changes to the remote repository. So let's quickly see how we can do that one by one. So log in into your GitHub remote using your credentials that you have created. Then you will see there is a plus icon on the top right. Select that and click on new repository. So this is the repository where you can give the repository name. So I'll say that deployment. This is my repository. I can give the description as well. You can select either it is a public or private. I will make it as public so that you all can access it. Then I'm going to add a readme file, git ignore. So I'll say that force.com is the git ignore I wanted to add. What git ignore is doing is you can specify the files, which file you don't want it to process while deployment. If you have a license, you can also select any license. I will select Apache 2.0. Go ahead and create the repository. So as soon as you will create the repository, your repository will look like this. You will see the branch here, which is by default main. Earlier it was master, but now it has been renamed to main. And this is what you will see: git ignore license readme.md, and this is your data for readme.md. This is the very first step that you need to do. The next thing that you need to do is you need to go to code, copy this under https. Don't select ssh or github cli, just copy this. Go to the folder inside your project folder where you were in your local repository. So I am in under here, like my first repo. I'll just go there, hit enter. I'll say cmd, and I will, what we need to do is we need to say git remote add origin, and this is the URL of our origin, and then hit enter. So as soon as you will hit enter, your remote is added over here. Now if you wanted to check, you can say that git branch. You will see in which branch is. Before pushing the changes, what we talked about is every time we are starting, like before starting our work or before pushing the changes to the remote repo, we need to pull the changes from the remote. So how we will pull? We'll say that git pull origin, like what we wanted to have, we wanted to pull from where we wanted to pull, we wanted to pull from origin. Now which branch we wanted to pull? The name of our branch is main. You can see there is only one branch. We will hit enter. So we'll say git pull origin main. Now you can see main branch is here. We have got everything here, right? Now if you wanted to see the data, there is no data you can see under this branch. Okay, nothing is here. Now if you say here, you'll say let's quickly run a command to see if there is any file. We have got git status. We are on the branch master. Now if you say that git branch, okay, we'll see there is only one branch, which is master. Now what we need to do is, as we have already committed the changes, we have already added those to the staged environment. What we will do is we'll say that git push origin. What is the branch name? Main. Hit enter. You get the error. It is saying that main doesn't match. So if you see, this main is going to be in git, but when you are pushing to git, you will always say master if you have main branch in the remote. As soon as you'll say here it is a master, it is going to create a new branch here, master. You can say here, I'll just go ahead, refresh this, and under the drop down I will say there is a branch called master, and you can just switch to your master branch. This is your branch actually where you wanted to work, and now you have got two different branches. So this is like simple process. Now I'll just make it to like more practical, where you might have few questions that will definitely going to clear your doubts. The first thing is that suppose that we are already done, we are done with the work. Now we are coming back tomorrow again to the office work. The first step what you will do is you will say that git pull origin, your remote name from where you wanted to pull. I'll say master. You first need to pull from the master. Now you are done. Next thing that what you need to do is you wanted to add few files. You just go here, you say new, you can say text document. I'll say that simple text. Okay, whatever the value you wanted to have, you can just put it over here and close it. If you wanted to have some others, you can just go ahead and copy. I just copy it here. So these are the files that I wanted to copy, and I have got these many files. Okay, now you say that you have developed the files. Now you wanted to send these, or you wanted to share these to the fellow developers, to your colleague. How you will do that? First thing that you will do is you will say GIT status. You have got these many files, right? There might be two scenarios that you might get. You might wanted to share all these files with the developer, or you wanted to only share few files with your developer. Suppose that you wanted to share only this file with your developer, which is simple text.txt. So what you will do is you will say git add the name of your file, hit enter. Okay, it says that path is specified not correct because our file name is not correct. You'll say like this. We have to double quotes because there is a space between our file name. That's why it is not able to identify either it is a file or it is a folder. Now you again run status. Now you will say there is a new file which is already there in staged environment, in staged area. Now what we need to do is you have added to the staged area, you need to commit. You need to tell what actually you did. So let's say that added a new file, okay, related to simple description. Okay, this is the message you are telling them, you are telling everyone, like for this commit you added a file related to a simple description. Hit enter. Now you have created a node, and this is your commit id. Now what you can do is you can simple run git push origin master. This is what they are going to run. Here you can see master has been updated with the master. If you go there, refresh this page, you can see now you have got one more file which is simple text.txt, and this is the commit message that you have added. Okay, here you are saying few things like pull request and all these things we are going to talk about in the coming videos. You don't need to worry about these things. Now suppose that some other developer added the files to the master itself. How they added? They might have some system, they followed the exact same steps we did here, but and then you want, so let's quickly say we are going to create a new file and we will say that other developer.txt. Okay, because we don't have any other system, we don't have any developer who is going to do the file, so that this is new file by other developer. Okay, we'll just go ahead and add it. So you are done with the day, you went to your home, or you just shut down your PC. Again you came after that day. What you will do, remember, always run this command git pull origin and your branch where you are actually pushing the changes. So if you are pushing the changes to master, you will pull from the master. If you are pushing the changes to developer, you will pull from the developer. If you are pushing the changes to prod, you will fetch from the prod. So these are all the branches, and you just need to hit the pull request. First you will pull, not pull request, first you need to pull from the master, and as soon as you will go to your, here you will say there is a file called other developer.txt, and then after that start working. Okay, If you don't do, what you will get is, let me quickly again create one more file. Let's quickly say whatever the file name is and just some sample random keywords I'm putting there. I've got one more file. I've added, let me quickly copy this file. Okay, and I'll just rename this to something meaningful. So I'll say that index.html. Okay, let's quickly copy that. This is what my file name is. I added a file. I went here and I said that GIT status. Okay, this time I wanted to add all the files because I know that all the files are good. These are in good working condition. I just wanted to add. I added this. I'll again check the status if there is any file which is missing. There is no file. I'll say that GIT commit -m and I'll say that, let's say, added messaging functionality. So these are the few things that we are doing. We will try to commit. We committed. Okay, up to here we are okay. Now let's try to push the changes here. So we'll say that GIT push origin master. So it will throw the error. What it is saying that for failed to push some references to this branch, sorry, to this repository. The reason is updates were rejected because the remote contains the work that you don't have locally. This is usually caused by another repository pushing to the same reference. You may want to first integrate to the remote changes. So what actually it is doing is you first need to pull the changes from your remote. So you'll say that GIT pull origin master and you are done, and you then again you'll say that GIT push origin master. So these are the some scenarios that every developer went through basically in their life, and it is okay to make the mistakes. Don't basically bother about the mistakes if you are making any mistake. Everyone has made mistakes in their life. So that's all about this video, and in the coming video we are going to talk about some different concept related to GIT itself. So thank you for your time, and we'll see you into the next video.